situation of malaria is very close to that of common African countries, especially rainforest countries, because here actually the prevalence of malaria is almost 33% of positive blood smear in microscope in our laboratories and health facilities. But it is still the main cause for consultation and a major public health problem in terms of morbidity and mortality. Malaria is the main cause of mortality among children under 5 and main cause of severe problems within the group of pregnant women. Many factors contribute to the widespread of malaria in a country. I'll just cite a few of them. In Cameroon, we have some geographical aspects. Cameroon is a mosaic. You have the rainforest in the south, you have the Sahelian region in the Sahelian environment in the north, which is dry. It means that you have a very high probability of suffering from malaria when you live in the south regions of Cameroon, where you have more mosquitoes and therefore more malaria. Also some environmental factors. Environmental factors that are suitable for the development of mosquitoes. How do we clean up our environment? How do we keep our houses? The mosquito like a small body of water around the house where it reproduces rapidly and come and bite people in the house. We have human factors like around 6 p.m. Where are we? Are we outside? Are we inside? Are we in our homes? Are we sleeping under mosquito nets? Are we not having habits, our behavior, that are really in favor to the mosquito's life itself? You also have our other aspects of our behavior. What do we do when our children have a fever? Are we going to hospitals anytime we have a fever? Are we taking drugs, auto-medication? So these are all just a few of factors that contribute to the widespread of malaria. And we also know that one of the challenges of malaria is the treatment. Auto-medication favors drugs resistance. So when we always take drugs before going to the health facilities, we encourage malaria parasite resistance to our anti-malaria drugs. So our behavior, our environment, the geographical conditions in which our countries are in Africa are suitable factors for the development of the mosquito, for the development of the parasites, and for the widespread of the diseases.
I will answer that question with a yes and also a no. Malaria treatment is accessible to the average Cameroonian in case where the episode is detected and treated within 24 hours of onset of the illness. In that circumstance, we are dealing here with what is known as uncomplicated malaria. In Cameroon, uncomplicated malaria is treated free of charge in children below 5 years. In adolescents and adults, uncomplicated malaria will cost 250 francs to treat an episode. That's approximately half a US dollar. In that case, you see that malaria treatment is accessible to an average Cameroonian. Half a US dollar, I think it's accessible to everybody. But unfortunately, we don't always treat this malaria at the uncomplicated stage. Parents stay at home, wait for whatever reasons we can't tell, and then they arrive at the health facilities in cases where the malaria has become complicated. And in such cases, treatment of an episode of complicated malaria can go up to as much as 30,000 francs, which is 60 US dollars. You see that between a complicated episode and an uncomplicated episode, there is a difference of 100 folds in treatment. So that's why I said malaria treatment can be accessible to the average Cameroonians as well as it might not be accessible, depending whether we are dealing with complicated malaria or uncomplicated malaria.
Since malaria is a tropical disease, it is also a disease for the poor. In Cameroon, Plan, as principal recipient in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health, is actually implementing a project for scaling up malaria control for impact. We are the beneficiaries of the Global Fund Malaria Program Round 9. So, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health, the National Malaria Control Program, our sub-recipients, our partners, civil society organizations, local NGOs, and community-based organizations, we are contributing to the prevention of malaria by distributing bed nets, long-lasting insecticidal-treated bed nets to all households, including people who live in remote areas.
Avant que les moustiquaires viennent, nous on a un peu souffert pour les moustiques, on fait les remèdes de moustiques, ça n'allait pas. On faisait les serviettes pour chasser les moustiques avant de dormir, pour chasser les moustiques avant de dormir. Donc on a eu des moustiques, on n'a plus besoin de ça. Donc on dort comme on veut, on se réveille comme on veut. Voilà. Parce qu'il y a d'autres qui étaient à côté de nous qui n'ont pas eu ça. Les enfants sont malades, toujours des valises. Parce qu'ils n'ont pas d'abord. Après, il y a un réservoir à la maison, je les ai donnés. Donc ils ont vu que c'est les moustiquaires qui ont notre remède. Donc on remercie les amis.
Plan Cameroon is doing a lot to encourage women to go to health facilities, and this is through what we call behavioral change communication. Presently, within the scope of the Global Fund Round 9 Malaria projects, Plan Cameroon recruited and trained 4,354 community workers in each of the communities who do what we call home visits. They move from house to house, especially homes with pregnant women and or children under 5 years, and have educational talks with the household members. And during such talks, they encourage the pregnant women. They tell them the advantages of going to the hospital, during their pregnancies at a regular interval, where in addition for a general checkup for their health and that of the unborn baby, they are given what we call intermittent preventive treatment against malaria, which goes a long way to enhance both the health of the mother and the child.
In addition to that, we also complement government activities because we conduct activities on the field in terms of communication for behavior change, interpersonal communication in favor of the use of bed nets, and also to encourage people to go to health facilities. We also support the Ministry of Health in the training of community health workers who actually are conducting or carrying out home-based management of malaria in remote areas where people live very far away from health facilities. Within the framework of our outreach programs, we also support the Ministry of Health, who set up a team in health districts. They leave the health facility, go to remote areas very far in our villages, consult our children, and also carry out home-based management and community-based management of malaria. So these are the two activities that Plan is actually doing in most of those communities where we are. And we also want to highlight that the Global Phone project that we are managing is implemented countrywide. So actually we cover the whole country through this program.
To keep on there, they do a thinking river goes on.